Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be filming my January wrap up. In January I read 24 books, which is crazy for me, but a lot of them was like kids books or shorter books, so yeah. Also, if you can hear in the fan in the background, I'm sorry, but it's boiling, so we're just going to have to work with it, I guess. So the first book I'm going to talk about is a DNF, which I'm so sad I DNF this because I wanted to love it. But the DNF is Paris Syndrome by Lisa Walker. I can't believe I DNF this. I really wanted to love this book and I thought it was going to be like really cute and a romance book. But I didn't like it. I honestly could not stand the main character, and I just thought, like, what's the point in continuing the book if I don't like the main character? So yeah, that's the only reason for me DNFing this. The main character was so annoying. Like, she thought she knew everything and nobody else knew anything better than she did, and yeah, for me it was just not a great book, so I DNF'd that one. The next book I'm going to talk about are two that I don't have with me because I read them on ebook, but I'll insert a picture on the screen. So the first book is Helpless by Rosie Lewis. This is a story, I gave it 5 stars, and I found it really weird how to rate it because it's a true story, but it's a story of a foster carer who had a baby under her care who was addicted to drugs because obviously the mother was on drugs, and it's about caring for this little baby and, you know, stuff that comes with fostering a baby with a drug addiction and trying to wean the baby off and stuff like that. I did like this book. It did have a good ending. It was 42 pages long, so it wasn't that long. Didn't take me too long to read it, so yeah, really enjoyed it, and I give it 5 stars. So the next book I read that I don't have with me is called Shaman's Magic Dream, and it's like a children's book, and we follow a monkey, which I don't know why it's a monkey, but it's like a monkey, and they're taking us on like learning about medicine throughout the years, and I read it just for the buzzword challenge and I really enjoyed it. I had to read a book with dream in the title. I thought it had really good information of like the medicine practice throughout the years, like how we use medicine in the olden days when we didn't have all the technology that we have now. So yeah, I really liked that one, and I also gave that one 5 stars. So they're all the books that I don't have with me. So the rest I do have with me, so I'm going to talk you through them. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about these next books because I did a reading vlog for them on my channel. So yeah, you can go and check that out. But if you want to, you don't have to. But I read Matilda by Roald Dahl for my childhood reading childhood favourites, and I gave this 5 stars. I read George's Marvellous Medicine by Roald Dahl, and I also gave this one 5 stars. I read Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl, and I gave this one 5 stars. I read James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl, and I gave this one 2.5 stars. Reading this when I was, well, now that I'm an adult, it really wasn't that good. But it was a favourite when I was younger. But yeah, go and check out that vlog and you'll see more of my thoughts if you want more thoughts. The next book is Flat Stanley by Jeff Brown. This was a really good book from my childhood and it's still good today. I gave this one 5 stars as well. Then I read 64 Zoo Lane, Georgina the Giraffe. I gave that 5 stars. I read Clifford the Big Red Dog. I also gave this one 5 stars. And I read all 3 Tracy Beaker books, so they're all in here. So the first book I read was The Story of Tracy Beaker. I gave that one 4 stars. Then I read Starring Tracy Beaker and I gave that one 5 stars. And then I read The Day Game and I gave that one 2.5 stars. The next books I'm going to talk about are all books from the Shadowhunter world by Cassandra Clare, so I'm just going to get them out of the way. So I read City of Lost Souls by Cassandra Clare and I gave this one 4 stars, I think. If you don't know what this series is about, it's about Clary Frey, who gets brought into the world of Shadowhunters, and yep. I can't tell you what this book is about because it's like the 5th in the series, but yeah, I enjoyed it, but not as much as I've enjoyed the others, so yeah, give that one 4 stars. I read City of Heavenly Fire, and this is my favourite book from the Mortal Instruments series. I really enjoyed this one. I liked everything about it. I didn't have a problem with anything. I thought the ending was good. I thought it was the best ending we could have possibly had. I cried, which is nothing now fresh with me because I always cry, but I cried, and I annotated City of Lost Souls and City of Heavenly Fire as well. Then I went in and I read Bane Chronicles, and I think I gave this 3 stars or 3.5 stars. This was, well, some of the stories were really good, but then others were just not as good. This was really a mixed bag of stories, but overall, my overall rating was 3 stars. I gave each of the stories individual ratings and then I divided them and it came out at a 3 star, so I think, or 3.5, it's one of them. Then I read the Shadowhunters Codex. Yeah, I read this, and this was just like an information book. It's like the Shadowhunter Codex for all the Shadowhunters that they get when they're becoming a Shadowhunter. So yeah, I thought this was really good for information. My favourite parts of this was the parts on the creatures, so fairies, warlocks, vampires, werewolves. That was probably my favourite. Also the ruins, I loved knowing are they called runes? I'm sure they're called runes. I loved learning about the ruins. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, marks. So yeah, I loved learning about them, and they were my favourite parts of this book. Overall, I gave this book 3 stars because even though it was really good, it wasn't like a storybook for me, and it's definitely not necessary if you want to read the Shadowhunter books, but it's a really good thing to have if you love the Shadowhunter world. So yeah, I don't regret having it. I love the fact that I have this, and I love that I read it, and I can refer to it if I don't understand anything in future books, or if I need to look up what something is. I have this at hand. Now the next book is the final book and the 4th book, and it's Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. I was so close to DNFing this book. After the first 3 stories I was just like, they're not great, and because I only gave the Magnus one 3 stars, I didn't really want to read this if this was only going to be a 3 star because it's like 600 pages. But I got the audiobook for this, and that audiobook literally saved this book for me. The audiobook was really good. I'd recommend the audiobook. But yeah, I ended up giving this 4 stars. The audiobook really saved it for me, and I think maybe the first 3 stories just aren't the best. So yeah, if you are thinking of reading this, definitely have to give it like at least 5 stories, because after 3 stories I judged it really harshly. The next book I'm going to talk about is An Unwanted Guest by Shari LaPena. I read this and this was amazing. I gave this 4 stars because it wasn't a 5-star book, but this was really good. This is one of my favourite thrillers. And yeah, in this book we follow a group of people that are staying in this cabin hotel thing and murders happen, and you try and find out who's committing them and doing the murders. And I didn't get this right. I thought I was so right. Like, I was saying to my family and everything, I've got this right, don't worry. I didn't get it right. The person that I thought was doing it wasn't doing it. So yeah, but I really enjoyed it, and the fact that I didn't guess it was even more. And I've been thinking about this one and I just want to read it again, so you can tell that I love it. So I also read Anne of Green Gables this month, and I gave this book 3 stars. I've watched the TV show and I did not think this was as good as the TV show. Maybe it's because the TV show had more in it and there was more to it, but I gave it 3 stars. I do love Anne though, she's like my favourite character. Anne and Matthew are my favourite characters, but I have a soft spot for Gilbert. But Gilbert, there was more of him in the TV show than there was in the book. Then also this month I read The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas, and this was amazing. This made me cry. It was emotional. I love this book. I gave it 5 stars. If you don't know what this is about, we follow Star, who witnesses her best friend get shot, and then it's just about her dealing with that and everything that comes afterwards and the emotional trauma. I gave this one 5 stars and I really enjoyed it. Then I read Wrong Time, Wrong Place by Simon Koenig. This is like so short, but I love this. For a thriller I gave it 4 stars, and I didn't see what was going to happen in this, but I loved it. The only thing I didn't like was the ending, and if you've read this you'll know what it's about. So this book is about a girl who gets kidnapped, and then a group of people come across her in a woods and they save her, but like they save her and then the kidnappers, yeah, they save her and then it's like the kidnappers are coming for them. What do? Did they still help her, or did they just walk away and save themselves technically? I really enjoyed this, and yeah, I love this and I gave this 4 stars too. I read Hello Mum by Bernadine Evaristo, and this one made me cry. So this is about a young boy who has got involved in the gang life, and yeah, and it's about his letters to his mum. So this is a book from his point of view, talking his mum through everything that happened. I enjoyed this one. Yeah, it made me cry. I did give it 3.5 stars because just too short. I feel like I wanted this to be longer. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know what happened after. Then I read The Shelf. I'm not going to go into too much detail with this either because I read this in a reading vlog, so you can go and watch my thoughts if you want. But I ended up giving this 3.5, either 3.5 or 4 stars. I enjoyed it. It was a good book. Yeah. I was expecting there to be more drama in this and there really wasn't, so that was my issue with it, with this. So yeah, like I said, if you want to know my thoughts, go and watch the video. And the last book I read is The Haunting of Bryn Wilder. I gave this book 1 star, no, 1.5. It was trying too hard to be too many things. It confused me. I didn't like any of the characters at all. I think, yeah, I didn't like any of the characters at all. I wasn't connected to any of them. I just thought it was weird and it was trying too hard to be a lot of things. it was trying to be supernatural, but then it was trying to be a romance, but it was trying to be a ghost story. Like, I don't think this knew what it was. But I read this for Winterween. It was the buddy read, so yeah, I gave it 1.5 stars. I didn't enjoy it at all, so that's my thoughts on that book. So that's all the books that I read in January. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've read any of these books and if you plan on reading any of these books, and let's get a conversation going, maybe in the comments, about any of these books, because I'm open to talk about them to anyone and everyone. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.